episode, I'm rolling with Funny Joe again. So it's just a continuation. So I did a double round with my fellow almost 52-year-old black belt. I should stress he's not 52 yet. I think his birthday's next week. But I don't want to split that hair. So this is Funny Joe. This is the next double round. I believe I have 2 other rounds with him on this channel. That's one of the black belts with an endearing surprise belt choke. So Joe, I mean, I don't want to stress this too much, but as somebody that I think I have a good sense of humor, Joe is definitely one of the funniest guys at the academy. He could be a natural, he could be a comedian if he wanted to. But instead he works for the DSNY, Department of Sanitation of New York, strong as we refer to them, since they get strong doing their job. He watches the channel and makes fun of the way I do things, which is, it's always good to have a humor between people. It serves as a pressure release valve. Without humor, the next step is really fighting. I mean, if you can't make fun of somebody, if you can't say something to let that steam out. He's really funny. He does imitations. I wish I could get him to do a little stand-up episode. But outside of that, Joe has become a really good student of jiu-jitsu. I try to help him when I can. At open mat, it's usually the chance when I get to help him the most. Besides watching my channel, I mean, he's improved in leaps and bounds. You know, I say not to use a lot of strength, but it took me 8 years to not use a lot of strength. So now I'm at 16 years, but about 8 years ago, it started to occur to me I was using too much strength. Nobody taught me that in the beginning. It was just go hard, win every roll, get injured, that's part of the sport. And I learned that it definitely isn't. As a matter of fact, in the last 5 years, I haven't sustained a major injury, and I'm the most fragile I've ever been. Between 40 and 50, you lose tons of bone mass. Your skin gets thinner. You age in ways you couldn't imagine. So that's a really nice sweep. I'm gonna put it into slow motion. I have his sleeve and collar controlled, and I'm gonna use my left leg to hook his right leg so he couldn't base out, and that gave me the sweep.
I'm just trying to willfully let you sweep me willfully and not put any effort into it.
So he's saying he kind of went with that sweep and wanted to not fight it 100% with muscle. And that's really good for a student at his level. You know, he's only been training a couple of years, I assume. He's been a blue belt for at least a year, so I would call him a seasoned blue belt. We don't give out stripes at the academy, or I don't think we do. My teacher's very old school. Back then, there were no stripes. So here I'm already have him in a little collar choke, but I let it go. I'm not sure if I could have finished there. I like this position. I love being in north-south. And what I love about rolling with Joe is he's a very strong partner that knows jiu-jitsu. So it's very interesting to handle him. So here he's trying to come up to his knees. I know what he wants to do. I'm waiting for him to let go of my right leg so I could spin to his back. Oh, and he did it right there. So as soon as he takes down that frame, you can go in that direction. So whenever you're in north-south on the top like that, after a snap down, and you get a chance to go past his arm, look for the back. So there he tried to Granby. I just followed it, stayed inside control. I've seen that a million times. I think if he would have done it a more complete Granby, it would have been effective for him, but he didn't bring his hips around and put them back in front of me. So here I already have his collar. I'm looking for the choke.
This is what I'm talking about, gassing out early around.
He's making fun of some of the things I say in my videos.
Someone who's already pretty much out of
We always have a little friendly banter.
Now you can get up that way and use tons of strength. That's why, oh yeah, that's why I gave up on it. See, you're learning. My own efforts.
So there I made space and brought him into it. If I wouldn't have done that, I'd be on his back and I wouldn't have an effective choke. It's not that I couldn't finish it, but look how easy I finish it here. That's my favorite choke, by the way. I didn't know that until I started making these videos in the last year. Gi choke, I should be more specific. My favorite choke in the north-south is in the no-gi is definitely the rear naked choke. So there I tried my spider guard sweep, and he was able to really resist it well. Now I'm trying to get behind his arm. I'm looking to load up his hips. Load up his hips on my legs. So if I pull him forward, once his hips goes on my legs, it's going to be sweep city.
We do a narration as we're going. A debate. We keep it like here.
So he's starting to climb all over me. I'm not that I'm letting him, but I'm just being relaxed about things. I still have my hooks in. I was going to look to escape with the spinning hook sweep, hook escape that I've done in some of my other videos.
Like it's not a long time.
Here I just want to continue the round, but Joe is needing a little, a couple of breaths here. I'm telling him to not lean over when you're out of breath. Don't lay on your back. It's always best to sit up and look up, or stand up and look up if you can. Now I'm explaining to him that when I choke, eating a chicken palm hero, I still continue eating as I'm choking. I don't know if any of you do that, or maybe I'm just an Italian gavone, as we say. So we're waving to our friend's son, who is in the MMA ring portion of the school. I think he's either 2 or 3 years old. I wish I grew up on the mats like that. And he showed us his Elmo shirt. I know we're off topic here, but I thought you should know. So I'm giving Joe a little break. I'm not sure, I forget how old he is. He's probably a bit younger than me. And I'm thinking he's probably a little heavier. Maybe a lot heavier. So there I'm looking for the butterfly sweep. He's good at just pulling his arm down. He's strong. It's like his arm is stronger than my leg. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, I'm just holding his arm off with my foot. You see that? So even though I don't have the right hand grabbing his right sleeve in a traditional spider guard, I'm still able to track his bicep with my foot. Now I had him in a choke. Not sure how close I was to finishing. It's a choke I used to use a lot as a white and blue belt. And there again, I was able to control his right arm right there. See how I switched that grip? Very deliberate. And then just sweep him over, because I know he can't base now. But I also know that window won't be there forever, but at the same time, I didn't have to rush. I hope that all made sense. See, I'm not really threatened here because he doesn't really have a guard. What he should do is at least sit up. And there I showed him he could pull me into a triangle from there. I love the triangle off the spider guard because your foot's already in a position to just slip around the back of the neck. So here I'm just relaxing. I'm doing some hand fighting. Somebody's walking by and joking around.
There you go. Go ahead.
So now I'm showing him a spider guard, and he wanted the triangle off the spider guard, but he didn't pull my right arm out with that grip. That would have led to it. So now I'm telling him to play spider guard. Again, what's interesting about this for me is I learned a lot of ways to pass the spider guard, because about 14 years ago, 12 years ago, that was a popular guard that I think was relatively new, or at least it was new in my eyes. And at our school, we had made a big deal about making sure we countered the Allianz guys. Who was a separate school in Manhattan at the time, who has since switched lineage. Now I'm on top looking for the armbar, looking for the kimura, looking for him to sit up so I could get the choke. Here I'm containing with what's called more of like the 1,000-pound position. I have my left hand blocking his hip so he can't re-guard. He could spin and get to his knees if he just spins in place. A can inside the can style spinning. Here I had his arm separated. I probably could have ripped it back, but he was defending really hard, and I felt like if I would have overcame his muscle there, I might have injured him. You know, just because somebody doesn't tap on a kimura or an armbar doesn't mean you should break their shoulder or break their arm. I'll even let go of a submission if I feel my opponent's not tapping when he should be. And I'll go to something else. I won't even mention it. But I have to if I watch this video. So there I fell back for a sloppy armbar. I'm not really sure what I was thinking there. I guess it was more of a distraction. So here I'm looking to pin his leg down and pass, staple, tickle his foot. So he's holding me off with a sleeve and collar, which is really tough to deal with, especially when the guy is stronger than you. So I'm showing him a better way, a more functional way to do the scissor sweep, because he tried to do it on me, but you can't do it when your opponent is based out. You have to get them loaded up on top of you. And that's a scary feeling, because it's like you're letting the guy climb you and you're wondering, is this sweep going to work? So that's why a lot of people try the scissor sweep from far away, because they feel safe trying it, but it's very ineffective. There I was able to tip him over, a very simple move, but if you see he had his right hand wrapped around my as a collar tie, and I had my right hand on his collar, and I just pushed him over. Sometimes you could just rotate somebody. There, you could see the path to knee on belly, and he actually pulled me over, which was very good of him. And there I just cut my leg right through his, to a knee slice. And I go right to that, with the armbar position, which he turned into violently. So I let go of it, and I went to the 100,000-pound position, 100,000. I went to the 1,000-pound position.
Nice.
It's always great rolling with Joe. Just hanging out with him in general is funny. More to come with him as you watch him grow. He's starting to realize he needs to use less speed and strength. Thank you for watching. If you want to help support the channel, if you find content in if you find value in my content and want to help support the channel, I have an X-Marshall link to a store on X-Marshall where you get 10% off if you use Jits over 50 as a code. They have a lot of great merchandise. I also have a spread shop. You could get water bottles, sweaters, t-shirts, or you could just buy me a coffee. All the links are in the description. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you want to see more of my videos, subscribe. Thank you.